In this presentation, I'm going to introduce you to programming logic by demonstrating how to start using one of the most widely used programming languages out there. I chose JavaScript for this reason, and because if you're seeing this presentation, I'm pretty sure you already have the tools you need to start programming right now. With other programming languages, you will need to spend quite a bit of time setting up your development environment, so that could be a little bit intimidating if this is your first time programming. So that's why I like to use JavaScript for beginners. If this is your first time coding, or even if you know how to code and need to be reintroduced to a really powerful language, JavaScript is the one for you. For JavaScript, all you need is a web browser, that's Chrome or Firefox, and a text editor. You could use Notepad or Text Wrangler, which is built into your operating system, Windows or Mac, whatever flavor you're on. If you're in a bind, you could use those, but there are way too many robust code editors out there that are available for free. I will be using one such editor known as Brackets. It is available for Windows, Mac, and Linux users and can be downloaded by pointing your browser at the following. Actually, I don't have the URL on the screen right now. I will show it in just a moment, though, when we skip to the coding part of this tutorial. And that is brackets.io if you want to jump ahead. Tonight we're going to introduce programs, which are basically just a set of instructions. Variables, you can think of these as places in memory where a computer can store information. There are two types, main types, numbers and strings, and other types as well, objects, undefined, Boolean, null, and array all are considered data types in JavaScript. And then we'll get to functions. You can think of a function as a set of contained instructions or a block of code or a code segment, however you want to refer to it as, that gets executed once it is called. It may help to think of these as programs within a program. We'll go over how to call functions, how to define functions, and how to return values from a function. All programs are broken down into three main parts. That's input, processing, and output. Our example program here I'm going to use to illustrate. I'm not really going to write this program, although we could. It'll probably take about 5 minutes. But anyway, in this example program, we're going to be computing the area of a right triangle. For the input in a program like this, this would be where the user enters the two numbers for the base and the height of the triangle. The processing portion of the program would be once the user clicks submit and a function is called that will perform a calculation on those numbers, and the output is the value that would be displayed. And then that brings us to output, which we'll go over a few examples of here in just a moment. All right, so what I've done here is created a, just ignore this for the moment. I've created a simple web page here on the right hand side of my page, and I got this brackets editor, like I mentioned a moment ago, from brackets.io. You enter that into your browser and hit this download link. You can download it for Linux, Mac, or Windows. So over here in the right hand side of the screen, I've got this page written out, and I've got some code, some examples here that we're going to go over. I really have to move to get this done. So right here up on line 8, we have declared a variable. We're calling the variable number 1. When we're declaring a new variable, we always say var and then the name of the variable. And then for a number, no quotes, we just type 100. Var number 2 we're going to set as 200, and then we're going to do a little bit of math here and take the var answer and set it to number 1 plus number 2. So whatever, these values happen to be is what the sum of the two is going to be what answer equals. And then we do a little message here. This is a string right here, but this variable is also doing what's known as concatenation. We're saying, hi, the answer is the answer to, and we say we're concatenating with the plus sign, number 1 plus, okay? Whenever we move from a string literal, which is this, to a variable, we are going to use the concatenation operator. In JavaScript, that is the plus sign. Within quotes, it's just a literal string. That's what's going to be output to the screen. And then we say number 2 is, so the answer to number 1 plus number 2 is answer. Okay? And if I save that and go over here and basically, if you hit the lightning bolt in the upper right hand corner of the screen, it will open up the file here, this HTML file in your default browser. In my case, it's Chrome. And what I do is right click and inspect to open up developer tools, and then click right here to go to console. And then here's the console right here. And so since I've got this page saved and it's open in the browser now, I'm sorry if this is moving quickly. If I type the name of a variable, like number 1, it's going to give that value that's stored there. Okay. I'm just going to comment that out right now. Not going to worry about that. So if I type message, value of the variable, hi, the answer to 300 plus 200 is 500. And I type, I want to see what number 1 is. Yes, it is 300. I want to see what number 2 is. That's where the console is useful. Over here on my page on the right hand side of the screen, if I say console.log within parentheses, I type message, it's going to write directly to